Oh, that was really close. Really, really close. So I've got the blocks of wood in there forming a platform, and I've got the basket there ready to receive the cheesecloth. And once I've got the cheesecloth in, then we can start putting the crushed comb in. There we go.
Such precision work.
It doesn't need to be sized, it just needs to be up. Yes, it is. Cool.
We should shut our bedroom door.
We should do many things.
Yeah. Oh, there's that too, but that won't get the honey done.
Dad, Dad? Yes. Daddy?
This is a
Dad,
family.
do I have to watch that?
Yeah, you do.
What?
Sarah, you want
No,
that
because I sit on your lap.
Okay, this is the
Where's the wooden scoop?
I'm just gonna see.
Oh, look at that!
It's ants.
I think the wax must have been floating more on the top. And now I'm getting through it, it's more and more, there's more honey than wax.
Well, it is going to have ant blood and bee blood in there.
That's extra protein.
Yes. Well, we won't tell anyone.
You're recording it on film, you goose, and of course we're telling everyone.
Well, we're not going to tell the people that we in person that we're giving.
Yeah, you can listen to this and then you
Yeah,
can
they
keep
can
making.
There are a good number of our friends and family that watch these videos, so they will know.
Oh, so they probably won't want it.
Lucky you're right in the way, buddy.
See the honey coming through the side of the wall of the sink there?
I want to get a good look. I really want to see this.
Look at that oozing out.
Oh, wow. You can just see it.
Ah!
What?
Quick, on the floor. Someone left that open.
Oh no! Oh no!
Do you know who that someone was?
You.
Dad.
Yeah. I'm gonna blame you kids though for distracting me so much.
What? Oh.
Yeah, I love honey from the floor.
Doing.
Is it tasty?
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm going to try and do now is I'm going to try and press that down a bit just with my hand. See if we can get a bit more roomy. So it's getting a lot, because we're getting most of the wax out, it's getting a lot more fluid, which is making it a bit hard to...
You have to like do.
How much is coming into the sink? I can't really see it. Oh, we're starting to get... Oh, look at it all running off the rope there.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, Sarah, do you know what would be a good idea? If we get a bucket underneath the tap and start doing some of that out.
What about Lucky?
What about it?
He might eat it from the bucket.
That's for the family.
Honey.
Okay, now, Sarah, I'm giving you the job of watching it. If the bucket overflows...
Oh, wow, this is really out fast.
Now, I was thinking we should maybe wash the bucket, but Sarah said, nah, it'll be fine.
What a load of rubbish steak.
I love eating fresh pot honey. It's better than shop honey. It's better than shops.
I know.
Honey. It's better.
Not too bitter, not too sweet.
Not
That'll be-
Not too sweet, you goose. It's incredibly sweet. So Sarah, can you help me fold over the cloth? And then you get
Oh, Lucky, are you going to try to get this again?
Now we've got to get it past all those spiky bits. Now Angus, the top of the basket cap there, can you put that on the table? And I need the round bits first. There. And those two, yep.
Why are they rounded? Does it really matter?
I just dropped that kid.
Oh,
Get Lucky to lick
and
it.
I was going to, oh, look at the honey all over that. And I was going to try and keep it clear.
No, but we did it when they first moved here.
And you think that if we were back in like the 80s, we would never have big were doing this? A long time ago. Long time.
The 80s is a long time ago, is it? Morag just said that what if we were doing this a long time ago, in like the olden days, back in the 80s.
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 That we would be doing this.
Oh, look at that.
I can't see. You're in the way. Thank you.
Right, you watch that?
That's what I'm gonna do.
What just happened?
It's not that. It's the.
Right.
What happened?
I turned it off and it started to overflow. And
Why didn't you turn it off before that?
I tried to. I turned it off as soon as I knew it was going to overflow, and because of how much it was going to overflow anyway.
You had one job. One job.
I spilled it.
Yeah, you did. You're gonna have to lick it up. Lucky, be quiet. So we are at the tail end here. Full extension. I don't think it's worth putting any more blocks in. It's getting a little rickety, as is the basket. I've had to put a prop in there. It was starting to bulge and collapse, and you can see there how much it's deformed. Now I've got some ideas of how I could do this better, and while this has worked, I'm gonna call the design a fail. So don't do simple mesh basket like this, because it's really not great. It's still coming out, you see there, it's quite a reasonable flow actually. I've got the press tilted. See, there's two blocks there and there's 3 blocks there, so it's on an angle. All the honey can drain down towards the drain, which is just down there. You can see it. You can just see the grill of the drain. But there's still a lot of honey in the sink there, and that's going to slowly move down, hopefully overnight. And there's also still, because it's under compression, there's still honey coming out of the basket. There, see, you can see the mesh is all filled with honey. So it's tailing off. Like I said, we're at the tail end here, but we'll leave this overnight and check it in the morning. So we've got quite a haul there. All those little white buckets are full. We've got all the jars are full, and the big bucket that you saw at the end, that was almost full by the next day. Plus, there's a whole stack of jars that we've been giving away to the neighbours and to friends and family and stuff. So I didn't weigh anything, but I estimate that this season we got about 40 kilos, which is not great by commercial standards. Like 20 kilos per hive is something you'd probably you'd be after if you're doing this, like, you know, for money. But for backyard, that's pretty good, especially because we got, well, almost nothing last year. So I think, yeah, 40 kilos of honey, even with giving a reasonable amount away, that's going to be enough for, you know, let's say 2 years. From the honey that we've given away, we've got a lot of people saying it's just absolutely amazing, and it is amazing. Like, I know it's amazing because, you know, it tastes great. But they said that there's a lot of delicate floral flavors in there, and just a depth to the flavor that they're not used to. And partly that's going to be because it's garden honey. We live on the edge of town, and there's gardens are basically all around us, so a lot of the honey is going to have traces of, you know, all sorts of garden stuff, or, you know, flowers through it. But we are on the edge of town, kind of, and we're surrounded by a lot of bush, so the majority of the honey is going to be Australian natives. So it's honey that people are used to having, is I guess the point that I'm making there. And so those extra elements that they're tasting in the honey, I like to think that they're there because the entire process is cold. Like, we cut the comb from the frames, we cold press it. The only heating that we do is we'll have the fire going, you know, so it's quite warm inside to help it flow a little bit better. But we're not directly, but it's still room temperature. It's a very warm room temperature. We try and get the house as warm as we can when we're doing the honey, but it's not actually directly heating the honey. And I know people who spin their frames, they say they could do it cold, but if they're using a capping knife, the capping knives are heated, and maybe just that little bit of extra heat that there's being applied to each cell of honey maybe is enough to drive off some of those more delicate floral flavors and depth to the honey. Don't know, but I'm pleased that people have been pleased with the honey that we've given them. Coming up, we got some more stuff that I'll be doing with Rush. In the video, you might have seen that I was wearing a patch on my arm. That was because I slashed myself with a sickle when I was in some pretty nasty water harvesting Rush. Meanwhile, coming up on Chestnut Nag, I've had 3 boxes of stuff arrive from Japan, and I'm going to be opening that stuff shortly. On Mad Scientist Prospecting, I've just got my artificial stream set up, so be doing some fluid dynamics videos to do with prospecting on that channel in due course. So all sorts of things happening here, including still homeschooling because of, you know, so having lots of fun. Well, trying to have lots of fun. Honestly, it's a struggle, and sometimes it's hard to just put one foot in front of the other, seriously. Also because I've got the council hassling me about, you know, all the stuff that I'm doing in my yard. That's an added stress I don't need. So your comments and shares and all those things that you do to help me build this channel and grow it, by showing your appreciation and showing the YouTube algorithm that you like my stuff, help me get the motivation to do the next video. So catch you guys later. Thanks again for your help, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Oh, and I forgot, we got the wax rendering video coming up as well, where I take all the stuff that's still in the basket and we render it to get the wax, which I'll then be using for a number of woodworking projects on my woodworking channel, Chestnut Nag. So stay tuned for that. I'm not sure whether I'll do the wax rendering video here or I'll do that on Chestnut Nag, because it's a crossover one. So probably on here, and then when I actually use the wax, it'll be on Chestnut Nag. So bye.